All right, it's time to wake up. It's time to keep it about ball. It's Thursday, August 20th. I'm live on YouTube. We've got plenty from the NFL yesterday, but first let's start with tonight's scores from around the MLB. To start, I have the NFL scores pulled up. That's not what we're looking at. Great start. Awesome stuff. Okay, let's get this brought up over here. Why is it bringing up soccer? What the fuck? All right, and finally, thank God. Holy fuck. The Pirates beat the Tigers 4-3. The Padres lose to the Mets 4-2. The Twins take care of the Braves 6-4. The White Sox beat the Cubs 3-0. The Diamondbacks beat the Sox 7-6. Phillies take care of the Marlins 4-1. Yankees beat the Orioles 5-3. Giants beat the Guardians 1-0. Cardinals lose to the Reds 5-4. The Rays beat the Blue Jays 7-6. The Royals beat the Athletics 9-7. The Mariners beat the Brewers 7-5. The Nationals beat the Rangers 6-0. The Astros, of course, they beat the Angels 3-2. The Dodgers took care of the Rockies 6-4 over in the standings. Mostly pretty similar over here. East pretty much the same. I think Houston's an extra game out in front, and pretty much everything's the same as far as that goes. As far as the wild card, pretty much the same. I think every team in the AL wild card race that was within 2.5 games yesterday still is, and I think they all lost except for Seattle. So uh, just a very lackluster wild card chase there. It's finally competitive, and that's what we get. I don't know. I'll probably talk about that a lot. I don't know. Moving onward to the NFL, what we're all here for. Vita Vea and the Bucks reached a 1-year deal, which is a huge deal for that defense. As good as he is, he's not really relevant for like IDP though. Only 4 games with double-digit fantasy points last year, and his points per game. He finished 119th among D linemen last year, and I'm sure not all those guys played like full games, and some of those dudes played 1 or 2 games and got a sack or something like that. Uh, but still, just the fact that there's that many dudes averaging ahead of him, I think it was like 8, maybe even 6 points he averaged, and that was with a couple of boom games in there. So just not it's big for the team IDP, but not or team defense, but not IDP. Trayvon Diggs signed a 1-year deal with the Seahawks. No word that I've seen for how much. The team is still planning. I guess I didn't know they were going to sign Terry and Arnold. I guess they're still wanting to do that whenever he's available and done with his hood rat stuff. Uh, which most of the advanced stuff I've heard since he's gotten in trouble suggests that like the Lions' defense might actually be better when he's off the field. I don't know how true that is. It's possible. Um, but for an already stacked Seattle defense, adding a guy like Diggs as your third cornerback is not bad. And if what I've heard about Terrion is wrong, and he makes them better, and he's there too, that already stacked defense. I mean, good luck getting the pass completed. Those they're going to be able to just they could already rush for it, and now they're just going to be able to like rush for it even easier. They'll be able to blitz dude. Like linebackers are going to have like the easiest job there if all those guys end up there. The Jags traded for a backup center from the Giants in exchange for a 6th-round pick. PFF has him graded at a 56.7, so I don't think that one's a huge deal. Kamara, this one is a bit of a big deal. He sprained his MCL at practice yesterday and is out at least 1 month, I'd imagine a little longer. If you've done your drafts the last few weeks and took ETN, yes, ETN, not HN, I don't give a I don't care. Like, you can't change it 6 years and a sibling in the league later. Like, but if you've taken him, you probably got him fairly late, or at least later than you would have. And now you might have got the value might have just got crazy better on that. And now, though, also because it's not the longest injury, you might consider selling high for the right offer if someone is really hype on him. consider maybe like a deal that involved another running back just below him in like current sleeper ADP, which is right now Quinchon, Tootin, Swift, Montgomery, those kind of guys. Trevion Henderson's in there too. If I could get one of them and just like another starter at any position for ETN, I'd probably take that for sure. Because Kamara will be back, and they've already forced enough. He's going to have a role there, and other players in the offense are going to get healthy. Is Kendre Miller? Is he still around right there? I might actually pull that up. Let's check out Kendre Miller. He might still be recovering from an injury. Let's see what ESPN has to say here. It says he's listed as active. So I don't know. Let's see. Latest news. Well, they've been practicing. Okay. And Audric Estime's in there too. Yeah, there's just plenty of mouths to feed. So I would maybe use this if you're maybe were a little wheezy on ETN beforehand. I would probably just use this as your sell high window that maybe you're getting blessed with, because I don't think it might be nice for the first couple weeks of the year, but there's just so many dudes there, and I'm sure someone's going to get cut, but still. This also could, though, help Juwan Johnson truthers out a little bit, because now their exciting rookie receiver and one of the best receiving backs of all time are hurt and missing time. I could really see him getting a ton of short stuff again like he did last year. He was pretty solid tight end 3 last year, or excuse me, not tight end 3, tight end 13. Big difference there. Chargers center Tyler Bieds. I even heard it the other day, and I could, or just earlier today, and I can still never pronounce it right. Their starting center was carted off the field with some kind of ACL injury. Sounds like it's not a tear, but he's listed as indefinitely. So that's killer for the Chargers, who can never keep a healthy O-line, it seems. I'm semi worried about it for the Chargers. I think they've got enough around there to kind of mitigate it. It's not a left tackle. Center's still really important too, but it's better than Joe Walt, I think. Probably. I don't know. That might be a bad take, but I think it's probably better than that. Quinshon Judkins did not practice today. And surprise, surprise, it sounds like there might be something not good going on in Cleveland, as per usual. I read that on day 4 of practice, Judkins blindsided Mike Hall during a drill. And I guess yesterday there was a little dust up between, or I guess it would be 2 days ago now. There was a little dust up between Quinshon and Winston Reed. And then later in practice during the last drill, Aiden Huntington knocked him real hard down to the ground. And then Jared Verse came over and was like grabbing him by his pads and yanked off his Guardian cap off his helmet. Neither Verse or Quinshon practiced the following day. I don't know. Probably just players being football players, but maybe something to keep an eye on. Tyler Warren is dealing with a small groin injury. Expected to miss a week. Doesn't sound like they're real worried about it at all. He should be right back in the mix real soon. Rashad White has tweaked a hamstring. Not too much more out on that. That came out pretty late in the day. And of course, most deflating of injuries. Of injuries for fantasy managers today was Jaden Higgins, who tore his Achilles and is out for the. It's already been a rough one. This camp for the players, for fantasy managers, for the teams. I bet the Texans are really wishing Diggs or even Allen was still out there on the market. Keenan Allen, Tyreek Hill is still out there. They're definitely in a win now mode kind of deal with that stacked of a defense. I mean, they're trying to do it for sure. So maybe they go out there and try and get Hill. Let me pull and see what the Texans cap is right now, what they got available. It looks like total cap liabilities. Oh yeah, they've got a little over $25.5 million in cap space, so they could definitely afford to go get a Tyreek Hill right now, who's not gonna get that much for sure. I could kind of see him going to Houston, honestly. Houston's a popular culture place, I guess. I don't know. It's not South Beach, but it's not particularly far, and there's a lot going on there. It's not like going to Green Bay where there's nothing going on. You know, Tyreek's not going to like a place like that where there's nothing going on outside of football. He wants to be in the mix and whatnot. And Houston's a place where you can do that for sure, and Texas as a whole, really. So I could see him going there, and then after that for the free agents. Who was it that you're looking at? Gosh, I just had the list here. I don't have. Where is? Oh yeah, it's right here. Like Juju Smith-Schuster, Brandon Cooks. I mean, that's about what you're getting. I guess maybe a good vet presence in some ways, but I'm not really sure that's what this receiving room needs. But aside from Higgins, this is probably a big hit for the Stroud owners too, the Higgins owners. This offense really needed a good second receiving option behind Nico. And from the sounds of camp, it sounded like he had the potential to be that. And now it's Xavier Hutchinson Gross, Jalen Noel, and Tank Dell, and who knows what he has left to offer at this point. So it's really killer for them. And I would not, they're going to have to go get something out. And honestly, I said Tyreek, it probably will be like Juju Smith-Schuster or something. I wouldn't be surprised if that gets announced in the morning when I'm awake. So we will see there. Other than that, though, I think that is it for tonight. Please check the affiliates in the show notes and use the code ZBR12 to help yourself and me out. Like, subscribe, comment, and all of that good stuff. And of course, remember, nothing changes if nothing changes. See you guys.